G'day YouTube, Happy New Year, welcome back to another video. Today I just wanted to do a recap on the previous video regarding the modification to the Trx4m ID charger for the Trx4m. In the previous video I showed a modification that I made to the charger itself, and there wasn't a load of detail regarding exactly how to wire it up, so I just wanted to do a quick video and clarify exactly what I did, so that if somebody wants to achieve exactly the same thing, it'll make it a little bit easier for them. So the first thing we need to do is to identify the colors of the wires coming out of the Trx4m ID charger. Looking at them like that, they are all black, with the one giveaway being that the positive wire has this punctuated white trace on it. So from this position we have positive. The center wire represents our blue balance wire, and the wire on the far right here is our negative wire. So when it comes to wiring the socket on this end, the red wire goes to the white trace. The central wire, which will be our blue wire on the balance connector, goes to the center wire on the ID charge cable, and then our black negative cable connects to the wire that's furthest opposite the positive lead there. On the adapter that we soldered up in the previous video, those wires basically come straight through into our balance connector here, with the red wire of the balance connector being connected to the wire with the white trace. Our center blue balance wire goes to the center wire of our ID cable, and the black wire goes to the negative cable, which is the furthest opposite the wire with the white trace. So that's all pretty straightforward. To get our two additional cables so that we have a separate charge connector and a separate balance connector, the red and black wires of the charge connector literally just solder straight into the red and black wires of the balance wire. So inside the heat shrink, the red goes to red, the black goes to black, and then they're soldered directly onto their respective positive and negative cables on the ID charger. So it's pretty straightforward. It's a quick and easy mod that allows you to charge, balance and place your ID battery for the Trx4m in a storage mode, which I think is very important for getting additional lifespan out of the battery. I haven't had a ton of time driving the new Trx4m. You can see here I've put some Endura bead locks on it, the ones that we vented in a previous video. We got the RC 4-wheel drive IROX on there, which are they're a 58mm tyre. They're a great size tyre for the Trx4m. I have had it outside on the rocks a little bit, but our course is set up for the SCX 24 vehicles, so it's pretty tight and technical in spots, and the way that this thing comes out of the box, it's geared fairly high. I think they call it a trail gearing or something like that, but it's got a good amount of wheel speed to it, and the slow crawl is not the best straight out of the box. The throttle's not super responsive, and sometimes takes a lot of throttle to get up and over certain obstacles, and you just don't have a ton of control. So I've got a set of the crawl gears on the way for it. Also, another thing I noticed is that it actually has, at least on this Defender model, it's got the accessories on the back, It's got the big wagon body with the cage on it, and it's actually got a rearward weight bias, which makes it challenging to climb certain obstacles. So it's going to need some brass, probably in the front wheels, and probably on the front axle. I'm thinking diff cover and steering knuckles at this point to try to get a little bit more weight up front. But it is a cool little rig. The steering lock on it is absolutely insane. It turns way tighter than an SCX24, which is pretty cool. It makes it surprisingly maneuverable. And the other thing that I noticed during my brief initial test drive is how well it side hills straight out of the box. Traxxas has done a really good job of laying out the battery and the electronics nice and low inside the vehicle. The battery sits way down on top of the rails, and the electronics sit down pretty low as well. So I think they've done a good job of squishing everything down into the chassis as low as possible. It's going to be a cool build, but I'm not going to be able to get a ton of driving, at least on our course, until I can get that crawl gearing sorted out, so I can have a proper play with it. But I think that's where we're going to leave it today. I just wanted to clarify that wiring, because I know the previous video had left a couple of people confused on exactly what I had done there. So I hope that clears that up. If you have any questions or comments about anything we've discussed, let me know, and I'll catch you on the next video.